Hello there folks, me RJB from RJB TV. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at a little bit of GangNamLife against JH from 2019 July 21st. I decided to from now on put the date of the replay right there at the start so we know what time period this is from. Also, I really got to quickly fix it at the top there because this is not Light against Burger, it is Gangnam against JH. And these two players are two of my favorite players of all time. But they have kind of both, I'd say, not been in the limelight that much. In part because around the time that I started casting, they were both becoming a whole lot less active on StarCraft. And GangNamLife actually quit the game in 2020, and JH... his job just became a lot more demanding on him in 2020 and 2021, up until the point where he quit in 2022. He did come back for short little moments of time during vacation, holidays, and that kind of stuff, but ultimately he hasn't really been active at all. But during this time in 2018 to 2022, Voss, also known as JH, was one of the best players in 1 vs 1 in the world on fastest map, and he literally played against every single person there was. And he's here on the Protoss, the brown Protoss, which is now the red Protoss. And GangNamLife is kind of one of the first Gosu players in Korea on fastest map. One of the first. Really one of the first. And he, for a while, was considered to be maybe one of the best. And he actually proved himself to be one of the best in a Burger Sasu tournament in 2021, where he actually beat every single top-level player. He beat Lee Baku, beat JH, and beat Bio. He beat all three of them in a row in a tournament to win the tournament and crown himself the king. And after that, he disappeared. He was seen no more. He was seen no more. So yeah, we have a cross-map spawn situation. We have a pylon into a nexus, into a forge, into a pylon, into a gateway, into double cannon there from JH, which is a very standard Protoss build order on a corner spawn location. We see the 2 gas, and then we will see the Cybercore coming up right after, right about now. Whereas for GangNamLife, we had a barracks, supply depot, barracks, supply depot, command center build order. And the command center came out because he did not get scouted early by JH, which usually means that the Protoss is not planning on rushing you, because otherwise you're being scouted much earlier, because the Protoss really wants to know where you are early if they are rushing. So if they're not rushing, you can kind of take these gambles that he's taking right now. He's even going for a 3rd command center because he got that SCV into JH's base, which further confirmed that, yeah, he is not planning on attacking me anytime soon. And he's not continuing marine production up until he finishes that double refinery in the back, and up until he finishes the command center, because otherwise he's going to get supply blocked. So first we're going to get that supply depot there, going to see this command center finished up, going to get an academy, and then he is going to resume marine production. He's really stretching out the dial of marine production for a very, very long time. Very long time. So he's on a very low amount. It's like 3 Marines. This is pretty much the greediest you can play a Terran in this situation. This is pretty much the maximum. Now, he was running that SCV back and forth inside of JH's base, and JH did show that he's going for a singularity charge. Did not show that he was building Dragoons, but if it's triple gateway and singularity charge, you can bet your life on it. It is likely going to be Dragoons. Although there are some mining games you can play by starting a singularity charge but not actually starting the Dragoons. But then if the SCV stays alive for too long and the Dragoons don't pop out, the Terran will know that, hey, wait a second, you're trying to trick me. So we do not have the... yeah, no trickery involved this time around. JH is going for a very straightforward build order. He's going to try to do a little bit of harassment onto GangNamLife to maybe kill some Marines to set up for a stronger Reaver shuttle situation coming up right after. Well, he pulls back at the moment. He pulls back. He pulls back for now. He's maybe looking for... he's just holding them back for now. He's going to wait for more Dragoons to arrive and for Singularity Charge to finish before committing to the fight. Because if you fight with Dragoons without range, they might take more damage than if they did have range, where Micro becomes much easier than if it didn't have range. So yeah, the range is going to be handy. He's going to arrive on location. There's a pull back there though. Just stab backwards as the range is finished up right now. He's now at a perfect distance, but because GangNamLife knew about the Dragoons and Dragoon range, he made his own Marine range pretty much immediately after finishing his academy. Although the repair on the bunker is pretty bad, but his own Marines now have range as well. He's got medics, he's got no stim. So there is a world where this Dragoon Micro could in fact kill all the Marines, but the Dragoon Micro is not good enough. It's good though, it's very good. He's almost killing everything, but the bunker in the back will finish up and that will repel the Dragoons unless he steps in right now. Nope, does not step into the base. He's gonna have to retreat. He can kill the supply depot though. That one is a little bit too far away for the bunker. He targets the bunker but takes a lot of damage, steps backwards. I'm not going to let it happen. And back at home, we have a support bay, we have a Robo, and a Reaver's on the way. We have a very early double Stargate. He's going to go for triple Stargate. He might actually go straight into carriers because this is a cross-map game, and he even is going for that third Nexus to boost up his economy. Just to boost up his economy. He just wants to have bigger amounts of minerals coming into the bank because he knows that with a cross-map situation, going for an early Dragoon push and a delayed Reaver shuttle, that the chances of achieving anything with the Reaver shuttle from this point onwards is going to be very small, very small. Instead, he's going to try to just rush his economy to the finish line, get himself carriers most likely. He's already getting armor for air, getting shields. He's not getting level 1 weapon or armor for ground because he's not planning on going for a lot of ground forces. It's going to be carriers all the way. Most likely. I might still be wrong, but that's the most likely situation. You have a double port there from GangNamLife for Wraith Defense. We have triple barracks there for... it's going to be a small combination of Wraith and Marine Defense. He scans JH's base, scans the front, sees single Robo, and when you see a single Robo, you can pretty much always assume that something funky is going on. In this case, it is going to be a funky, fast carrier. We'll order as a fleet beacon is already warping in somewhere in the top corner. He's trying to hide the fleet beacon. So if a scan comes down right here, you cannot see the fleet beacon, which might lead GangNamLife to assume that maybe he's building Corsairs to escort his drops, but it's going to be carriers for sure. So we have 7 gas, double Cybercore, drop over the bottom side, flies in, Wraith's a little bit slow to respond, Marines coming in to try and snipe it, snipes it, turns around but cannot escape and gets taken down. The Wraith doing their job, getting vision on the high grounds, not on both sides, but at least the bottom side. So anything that flies over the bottom will get intercepted. The Marines are in a strategic position to move with stim and try to intercept as long as he responds fast enough before the shuttles get even remotely close to the SCVs. Because if they come right around here and he responds, yeah, you're not going to catch the shuttle. You're going to have to run your SCVs to safety or lose them. Notice how he's not really putting a lot of his tanks in the front, putting most of them in the back. He's really expecting very intense and heavy shuttle play. And he's not wrong in assuming that, because most of the time that is what you will see. Very heavy investments from the Protoss into shuttle drop play, and JH is really good at that. But he's deciding to go for a soft shuttle play strategy, soft gateway. It's really mostly going to be carriers, straight into carriers. And I think that GangNamLife has not yet scanned since the first scan on the Robo. But I think he's going to start assuming that JH is probably going for a super intense macro strategy. And he is. He's going for a super intense macro strategy. When you're not getting frequently attacked by shuttles, he scans. Oh, he actually scanned everything. Saw the oldest Stargates, saw the fleet beacon, saw the front, saw the bottom corner there. He scanned the entire base because he knew that something was not exactly right. And he was correct in his assumption that something was not right. He was right in being suspicious about what JH was doing. JH's even trying to maybe hide his carriers a little bit. We have a little bit of a push there across the high ground, trying to get that shuttle into the base, but that's not going to work. Actually, I lied. Runs in, unloads the Reaver, loses the shuttle, loses the Reaver. There's tanks on the top there, killing it in one single shot. So he's got triple armory. With Marine level 1 attack on the way. A lot of Valkyries to fight against carriers. He doesn't have to add a lot of factors at the moment. He can just really focus on building Valkyries and raids, because against carriers, that is really the best option on fastest map is mass Valkyrie, mass raids. It does miracles against a Protoss going carriers. Miracles. It's really the nicest thing to go for. He's getting Mind Control and a Dark Archon. He doesn't have an Arbiter Tribunal yet. If the Terran goes for mass Valkyries like this, what you really want to have is something like a Stasis to lock them all up. Because if the Terran doesn't properly spread them out, the Stasis can really just destroy the entire supply count that the Terran has by locking it all up in a Stasis, which gives the carriers all the freedom in the world. So yeah, it's going to be 6 starports. We don't have a facility yet, but the facility should soon be on the way. He's now adding on more additional factories, because at this point, having more than 6 starports is not really going to be too productive. He's going to start building cannons on the middle. He also needs some fleet beacons. We have, in fact, a line of... Let me just drink something quick. Yeah, this is a true macro game. True macro game. So you have an observatory for observers against raids. We have double tribunal for both recall and stasis, and then energy. Still a very low amount of gateways. We have all the carriers finished up at 11 minutes and 15 seconds, which is quite fast, to be honest. Like, JH was spending his minerals like an absolute madman. Look at him, 90 probes, below 500 minerals. He still tries to get some use out of his dragoons by killing some structures in the front to maybe supply block GangNamLife, but GangNamLife is fully prepared for the battle that is about to come. He's got 2 groups of Valkyries. The raids are largely gone, still has 2 raids alive. Cannons in the middle coming up. He's gonna have to build cannons here and shield batteries, or maybe build the shield batteries on the middle. But the bottom line here is, because the raids are dead and gone, like there's 2 still alive, he cannot really hunt down the probes and stop the cannons from finishing up. Because for that you need at least 4 to 5 raids to kill the cannons before they finish up. He's gonna start building a lot here, and a lot here on the other side as well. So yeah, both players really just taking their time. This is a classic cross-map spawn game where both players just take their time to grow big and prepare for an epic mid-game to late-game battle where one of the 2 players is going to come out on top. After intense labor, intense combat, blood, sweat, and tears. So the battle starts, Valkyries are in the mix, there are courses coming in to try and hurt the Valkyries. Valkyries are on 1-1, courses are on 2-1-1. Carriers are going straight into the base. He's going to go straight for the command center. I'm not sure if that's the right choice, because the carriers are very low on HP. Going to try to target it down, but the Valkyrie's coming in to damage it all. Carriers are stacking all up. No, this is not going to work. The carriers are taking heavy damage. The repair on the command center is great. And JH just made a massive blunder, in my opinion. Massive blunder. Very impatient. He thought he had a chance to go in. Like, I get the fact that he thought he had a chance, but oh boy, the signs that he didn't have a chance were right there in front of his nose. And now he's got to rebuild the carriers. Everything. And GangNamLife should know that right now is his moment in time to try and push through the middle and kill some cannons. Now is the moment. Now is your chance to go for it. Facility there on the side. You got EMP getting energy for vessels as well. We have level 1-1 for air, 0-1 for ground. I don't see a 4th armory. No 4th armory. Gotta stay on triple armory. It's on 4cc, triple scans. Some tanks shooting across the high ground to kill those cannons. We have no shield batteries there yet, but this is gonna be full of shield batteries, I'm sure of it. Getting a recall, getting energy, getting armor for ground. He's getting ground upgrades and air upgrades at the same time. Air's on 2-2-2. Couple carriers are going in to kill some marines, just opening up supply space, and a large group of Valkyries moving forward but cannot quite jump on the carriers. He sees 2 of them with the scan, which means the rest is still coming from across the map. He's adding in Corsairs to attack the Valkyries as the Valkyries are trying to kill the carriers. It's a pretty good choice to go for, but the number of Valkyries is just so massive that it might not really work out as he wants it to. But the upgrades are still a little bit away. I think these upgrades will finish right as the carriers arrive for combat. Let's just keep it highlighted. The carriers are flying across the map, building interceptors. They should be arriving here very soon. Killing his own supply depots in the front. Actually supply blocks himself a little bit. But he wants to open this all up so they can easily move out and attack the enemy. He's going to keep that one alive, do not supply block himself any further. He's going to have to build a couple new command centers or supply depots here on the bottom corner. Or somewhere else. Carriers are on the top side going in. Going to try to sneak a shuttle in. He's unloading on the top corner. He's going to go for turrets, I assume. Got tanks in the middle. They're sieging up to take down those cannons on the middle. We have a arbiter there in the front. Reaver is going to get attacked by the Marines. Marines are streaming in one by one. Gets a surround on the Reavers, but the Reavers might actually kill all the Marines here. One of them will go down. That kills everything. The raid is going to finish it off. Carriers in the middle, they're fighting back against the Valkyries and the tanks. The Valkyries are really just making minced meat out of these carriers. He really needs shield batteries. He's got a couple of them there on the side, but he's not using them yet. Like, this is the great part. Like, look at him. He's actually spreading out his Valkyries just a little bit to make it hard to use. Oh no, going to take down the Arbiter. Arbiter escapes. Arbiter number 2 there in the back. No energy on the Arbiter. This one's going to have to do the magic trick of putting the Valkyries in stasis. Goes in for the stasis. Vessel there in the back. Gets a great stasis. Splits up a couple of Valkyries though, but that's definitely not enough. It's going to be only 5. Against how many carriers? We have 10, I believe. A couple more there on the way back at home. Arbiters in production. Drop arrived on the command center. Oh my god. He got in. He got in just now. Like, this actually happened like 10 seconds ago. Got in. I missed it flying in. Like, he opened up the wall there on the top corner and flew all the way in, killed the entire economy. He's doing great. GangNamLife is in trouble. He's in trouble. Losing the tanks in the front. He still has a lot of minerals and gas though, so he could still go for a counter push. And the carriers are dangerously low on HP. They need their shields regenerated right now. But he's going in. We got Goliaths on the way. A couple Valkyries in production, hanging there on the side. Tanks are finishing up. He's going to roll into the middle. Going to try to push while he can. But JH is in a very good position. JH is in a great position. But the Goliaths and Valkyries are straight up attacking the carriers. Carriers make their escape. But look at how low some of these are. Look at how low they are. So we can see GangNamLife pushing forward. Carriers dying. Ooh, this group of Valkyries did a lot of damage to the remaining carriers. They arrive at the shield battery, but there's only 3 shield batteries. He needs like 10, maybe 15 to completely regenerate all the shields. Look at this. The shields are actually looking pretty good. Goes in with a great stasis yet again. There's no new turrets being built on the top corner. GangNamLife pushing into the middle. He's killed a lot of cannons already. Only a couple cannons remaining. We have 1, 2, 3 arbiters on the bottom, and the other arbiters are back at home. He went for a lot of robos, 10 robos. So JH can in fact switch over into a large Reaver shuttle drop strategy if the carriers were to die very soon. And I don't think they're going to die very soon because he is keeping them alive quite well, even though they're on low HP. Like, there's still 10 of them alive, and they should have all died long ago. They should have died long ago. So GangNamLife gonna get dropped again. No. Ooh, he was looking for an SCV there on the top corner to go for a cheeky mind control, but couldn't find one because GangNamLife is not bothering to rebuild that section. Carriers attacking over the bottom side. Valkyries hanging in the back. Whenever these interceptors return back to the carriers, oh, he's going straight for the carriers. He's gonna lose the carriers at some point. At some point, the interceptors will return back to the carriers, and then the carriers take massive amounts of damage. He's got so many Valkyries, and the carriers are just getting melted. Whenever the interceptors return, the carriers melt to these 8 damage rockets per rocket. Alright, per rocket. It's pretty big. Oh no, fly straight into the middle. He was either planning to just throw them away, or that was a mistake. So new units are in production. He's got a couple of shuttles there on the way, building a couple of those Templars, getting a couple more gateways to just supplement his production with a little bit of diversity, ground diversity. He's pushing across the map really quickly. You got the Arbiters running back home. GangNamLife is actually in a pretty good position to still win the game. Just has to build a couple turrets right there to prevent this one shuttle from mind controlling his SCVs. But even if he gets the mind control SCV, GangNamLife might just, with his very big army size, just push across the map because he's got 45 SCVs, not a lot of money coming into the bank, almost no gas coming into the bank, like almost no SCVs on the gas. He might just push for the win before JH is ready to fight back. We have carriers finishing up very soon. Everything on the mill has been taken down. We've got Valkyries in the sky, and we have vessels with energy ready to EMP on arbiters and carriers. Ooh, he's gonna have to use Storm right about now. Please EMP there. EMP them, looking for the carriers, looking for the arbiters, cannot quite find them. Gets that one Templar out of harm's way. He's gonna fly all the way around and try to drop from the top side there. That's what he's gonna try to do with that shuttle. It's very low HP there though, so it might not survive. Kills a vessel. Did he get an EMP? He got an EMP on a couple of carriers. A couple shields are flying over the middle just to open up supply space. He's building more Dark Templars. JH is getting kind of desperate, and GangNamLife is pushing forward with real commitment. But these stasises are massive. A couple carriers do die. He's got 9 alive at the moment. A couple Valkyries do arrive on location. We have the shuttle there on the top side. They're ready to go for a drop. Will it survive though? Like, can this one turret hit the shuttle? No, it cannot. He arrives. Oh, he's got tanks. Will the Templar survive? Yes, it will. Gets a great storm off. How many does he kill? It goes 29. But right here inside of JH's base. He's pushing forward, pushing through. Dark Templar in the mix. He's gonna have to scan right about now, but the Dark Templar is really just racking up kills upon kills upon kills upon kills. Valkyries get out of stasis. Carriers are dying very quickly. Carriers are gonna get melted. They're right on top of the Valkyries. Goliaths from the back, shooting them down. There's nowhere to run for the carriers. Carriers are gonna get absolutely destroyed. But the carrier is dead and gone. We have almost nothing for JH to use. He did get that one mind control, recalled the SV back home, got the command center, but JH might be in trouble. He's got 8 gateways, carriers finishing up at flying to their rally point, flying into the deaths. They have no more interceptors. Got almost no supply at all because he just cannot produce anything, okay? JH made a pretty big mistake not getting enough gateways at maybe like a proxy base. He was just really focused on dropping, which was great. He killed the economy. GangNamLife has almost no economy at all. But GangNamLife's army is massive. He's got 25 SCVs, but 175 army supply. Like, he is actually really strong. And JH just cannot keep up with the production. I don't think JH can win this. Carriers are too far away. Look at how far the carriers are away from even finishing and coming out of the gate of the stargates. Some of these might even die before they come out. Very weird conclusion to the game where JH just had a momentary lapse of judgment in the way he placed his carriers above GangNamLife's army, and GangNamLife just seeing the opportunity, using it to his advantage and not relenting, not letting the pressure or the destruction of the economy get to his will to win. Instead, he perseveres, pushes on, and I think this is going to be it. We do have a big proxy robo base being built here for JH to try and maybe go for one final drop on the economy and completely destroy GangNamLife's hopes of winning. But in order for that to work, JH has to actually survive. He has to hold on. And at the moment, he's got nothing, absolutely nothing that can hold back this army of tanks and Goliaths in any way whatsoever. I think GangNamLife knows it. GangNamLife is talking in the chat. I don't know what he's saying, but I think he knows. There's factories being built on the middle, but they will not have tanks and siege mode finished anytime soon. Not anytime soon. This is a dire situation, and GangNamLife just finishes it off in style. He's within range of the probes, gets his vessel a little bit close, gets an EMP on the Arbiter. Another Arbiter still has energy though, but it's not going to be very useful. Gets a stasis on the Valkyrie, so I lied. It is quite useful, but not useful enough, because even though that stasis is absolutely amazing, JH is still very dead. Very dead. 28 workers alive, killing the remaining ones, gets the Nexus down as well. Yeah, he just absolutely executed him. JH made mistakes. And the mistake was not having any gateways to switch away from carriers into a ground force. And when you don't have any gateways to switch away from carriers into a ground force, you have to be very careful with your carriers. Because you just do not have anything that can be quickly rebuilt if you don't have gateways en masse to deal with ground options from the Terran. All you had was carrier options. If all you have is carrier options until your carriers die, you're going to be waiting 2 minutes until you can once again resume the fight. And in those 2 minutes, the Terran can completely obliterate your ass. Kind of like this, he creamed his ass to Kingdom Come. And now the last carrier is ready to die, Arbiter goes down, only one carrier alive, one tank on the bottom, but the tank on the bottom is not going to do anything at all. And it looks like GangNamLife crowns himself victorious. Drop comes in, Reaver on the scene, Reaver shoots its load on some SCVs, but SCVs are blocking the shot, and he's laughing his ass all the way to the bank, because he just won a pretty nice macro-focused game between JH and GangNamLife. And as you can see why I think GangNamLife is one of my favorite players. Like, yeah, he made mistakes. Yeah, it wasn't exactly all as clean as could be, but the moves he makes are great. He understands the game really well. He knows exactly what he can do, what he cannot do, and when he should do it, but also how he should do it. He understands the plan and the plot. JH is kind of stretching out the game. He should already be out of the game. Like, there's no point in staying. You're not going to survive. You're not going to revive. You're not going to return. A comeback is impossible. Raid's coming in. Going to take down the Nexus. There's no more probes at this base. No more probes at the top. We got a couple probes are in the back, but they're dying as we speak. Got 3 probes left alive. There's 1 tank. 3 tanks on the bottom of his base. Raid's coming in to kill the carriers. Carriers are gone, and JH should be calling GG right about now. We gotta drop down the top, gonna take down those supply depots. But at this point, the supply difference is so massive, I don't think he cares. Plus, he has rates to defend himself against the Reavers. All the Reavers do unload on top of the SCVs, gonna run away to safety just to be sure that they don't die. But it wouldn't really matter even if they did. And he leaves the game. He knows it's over. He knows his chances have flown out of the window. And GangNamLife wins game number 1. I've got a couple more games waiting to get casted during this week between these 2 players, and I hope that we're going to be seeing a game that actually has some action in the first 10 minutes, because this is no action in the first 10 minutes, but it was kind of a fun one just to watch them go through the motions to get a deeper understanding of the thought processes that go into it and the details that they were putting into their game. But yeah, JH, strong player, but really limited himself to having just one single option on the table. And GangNamLife, took advantage of that. I commend him for that.